Okay, welcome to Chapter 2, Part 2. Okay, in this chapter, we are mainly focused on the taste and also the sensation, yeah? The molecule of taste and sensation. Alright, so let's look at the Chapter 2, Part 2. First of all, I'm going to introduce what is chemostasis, okay? Okay, what is chemostasis? Chemostasis is the direct activation of somatosensory nerve. Okay, basically are the nerves that we have mentioned in part 1, the trigeminal nerve, facial nerve, and glossopharyngeal nerves. Okay, by what we call the chemical stimuli. Okay, so it's a chemical compounds that actually will trigger. Okay, will trigger these nerves. Yeah, sending signal to the brain. So if I break down the word chemostasis, okay, chem is chemical, stasis is the ability to perceive or feel, which means that the chemical give, okay, these feelings, okay, to your brain. Okay. So all these chemostasis sensations arise when the exogenous chemical agonist, okay, activates receptors that normally convey other senses such as temperature, pain, touch, or texture, when resulting in cooling, burning, stinging, or tingling sensation. Alright? So what it means by exogenous chemicals basically means that it's from outside. So for eating is basically ingestion of food. Okay, food components, okay, food that contains chemicals components, okay, that give rise to all these sensations. Okay, what are these components? I'm going to tell you example of this. I'm going to tell you later on in the chapter. Okay. So all these temperature, pain, touch, texture. Usually you can feel, like for example, if you are near to heat, you can feel temperature. But some molecule can do the same. All right. Examples is like the capsaicin. Okay, capsaicin can mimic. Okay, also will trigger through the same receptor and give you the temperature effect. Okay. Some of the common chemostatics agents, for example, like chili pepper, okay, alcohol, peppermint, okay, cooling sensation, mustard, a bit hot, okay, various acid, okay, sours and burning effect, okay, and carbonated water, okay, tingling effect. Carbonated waters, okay, I give you the tingling effect, yeah. These stimulants are often associated with oral sensations such as pungency, freshness, tingling, sharpness, cooling, and many others related to the pain receptors, okay. Like for example, the most common are what's it called, soft drinks, okay. Soft drinks are always carbonated. Okay, and when you are drinking it, you feel refreshed, okay, because of the tingling effect, okay. So that's the reason why it's best served chill, okay, for carbonated, because it contains the most dissolved carbon dioxide in the drinks. So we will ingest a change in the temperature, then it will be released out. All right. So that's why this the effect I have mentioned in the organic chemistry before, yeah. So exposure to chemostatics agents, okay, if it's repeated stimulations, will lead to progressive stronger perception, which means that, for example, you're eating chili, okay, it first goes say, it's alright. The more you eat, okay, the chili, then you expose more to the capsaicin. And what happens, right, is that you get more and more. You get worse and worse, more and more burning effect. Okay. As soon as you stop the exposure, if you starts to desensitize, then they will lower down the intensity. Yeah. But again, how fast it will decrease the perceived intensity, that depending on the affinity on the signals that send to your brain. Okay. Some of the components can be immediate, some can be take a longer time. Compound must pass through lipid phase of the cell membrane, yeah. So usually if you're looking at the cells, including where the nerves, okay, before the nerve, then we got our cells, okay, and usually they are there's a barrier that, okay, the what's it called, the lipid phase, okay, lipid bilayer phase, and the cell membrane actually is before the nerves. So what happens is that the chemical need to pass through the lipid bilayers before it go down and sense the nerves. Okay, so those, okay, that is easily pass through the membrane, okay, can arrive at the nerve ending faster and then trigger the stimulations. That is why if those the compounds, the agents, okay, the chemical compounds that is more lipophilic chains, okay, usually it can lead to increase in the trigeminal stimulus. Yeah, okay. This is the common characteristic. Okay. Okay, let's look at the chemical chem assistic agents that give you this kind of the sensors, yeah, all these sensors. So the all these sensors, right, we call it as a sensates. Okay, sensates means that sensates means that perceive through the senses from the chem assistic agents. So I'm going to give you all these sensors again. There's examples that come with it. Alright, all these give you the chem assistance. Yeah, you can have these feelings. The first compound that I'm going to talk about is the tingling compound. Okay, usually is described as numbing anesthetic effects. Sometimes it's like pin and needle, buzzing, pin and pricking. Yeah, alright. So it's like when you're drinking the carbonated water, usually you'll feel like a bit tingling, like a bit like sharp needle poking, okay. But it's quite nice, it's cooling, yeah. Perceived on the tongue and lips, but may also experience on the gum, teeth, cheeks, and roof of the mouth. Okay, so it can be a lot of areas. Okay, so the tingling has value in flavors applications, synergy with other attributes of products. Sometimes it can enhance the sensory effect in carbonation. Okay, and perceived as a refreshing and cleansing. Sometimes it can linking to product claims. For example, skin soothing effects on the anti-dandruff shampoos. Okay, sometimes you can feel a bit tingling. Oh, you say that, hey, it's effective. Okay, if without this, okay, without the tingling effect, maybe you say, hey, is it giving you this kind of the claim that it will get rid of the dandruff, okay, with the tingling, and say, oh, it's working on your scalp. Okay, that's why it's you say that, oh, it's effective. Okay, so same goes to the flavor, the food compounds. Okay, like for example the drinks. If you are in a carbonated, usually have a tingling effect. You say that, oh, it's refreshing, it's cooling my body down. Alright, so sometimes it synergizes with other attributes of the products. Yeah, so if you want to give this kind of added sensation, you can add all this. Okay, the tingling compounds. So where are the tingling compounds found? For example, usually you found in the botanical species. Okay, there are a lot of plants that have contains all these tingling compounds. Okay, so the compounds, for example, from these Piperaceae, okay, Aristoteaceae, Rutaceae, Asteraceae, and Porcaceae. Okay, all these are different types of species of plants that contains this compound in there. Okay, examples here. Example, like for example from here, you can see is a Sichuan pepper. Okay, Sichuan pepper have this is the molecule. Okay, inside the Sichuan pepper that give you the tingling compound. Okay, so when you eat it, you feel like, oh, it's a bit stingy. Okay, it's a bit like a bit tingling, the kind of feelings. Yeah. Another type is, for example, these pipelogums. Okay, this is the structure of the molecule inside these pipelogums that give you the tingling effect. Okay, if you're looking at the structure and the how you can give this kind of tingling activity, a lot of this molecule actually contains this characteristic type of in their chemical structure. Okay, so in the chemical structure you can find all these characteristics. Okay, first is that you will see that there's an amide bond. Okay, you see that this is an amide bond. Okay, it links to the conjugated double bond. Okay, conjugated means that is if you skip one the single bond to a double bond, so this is what we call conjugate. Okay, so this is one first characteristic. Second characteristic is that if you have a double bond, okay, this double bond will be either a cis or a trans configuration. Then usually they have a few gaps of the spacer. Okay, and the fourth will be if you have a cis configuration, you see, a cis configuration double bond over here. Okay, so a lot of this tingling compound contains these 1, 2, 3, 4 in their structure. Okay, that give this kind of tingling effect. Yeah. So all this tingling effect you can find in all this kind of products. Of course, if you want to see what is the compounds, then you need to extract it out and do the research on it. Yeah. So as application of the tingling compounds, like for example in chewing gums, the mouthwash, okay, toothpaste, mints, candy, and a variety of beverage, okay, they form a natural tingle extracts, okay, natural analytical or pure synthetic molecule. Yeah. So once you know about the tingling compounds, you actually can synthesize it. Yeah. But nowadays people rather have it naturally extracted out from the plant base, yeah, and usually is cheaper than synthetic. Okay. Alright. So what's the reason why you want to add all these tingling compound into this product is to give give the consumer a certain perceived effect. Like for example, if you're talking about mouthwash, you feel that, oh, it's working on your mouth, it's like killing the germs in your mouth. Okay, the mints is like, oh, your feeling is like, oh, it's cooling it down, it's like cleaning your teeth. Okay, because the mints in your chewing gum, you feel like it's cleaning. Okay, and a variety of beverage is like feel like refreshing. Okay, so all these are the different type of application why you want to add this tingling compound there. You just spice up and then just reaffirm the consumer that the product you bought is giving a certain effect. Okay. Next is the cooling compound. Okay, cooling compound usually like menthol, methyl acetate, peppermint oil. Alright, it gives you a certain type of the cooling effect. Of course, with this peppermint oil or this will have additional flavor in there, such as the minty flavor. Okay, and this it can give you some kind of nasal clearing as well effect as well. Okay, these cooling compounds may or may not have the additional flavors here, like the minty flavor. Okay, but the one very obvious is that you feel like you are drinking something cold. Okay, so this cooling agent give irritating effect to the eyes and nose, and also require a high dosage to achieve effect on the skin. Yeah. So the best application is on the mouth. If you drink it, you feel like it's cooling. Okay, if you try to have this drink and then put on your skin, you may not feel it that obvious. Yeah. So cooling effect also equal to a sense of freshness and cleanliness. But for this Nescafe ice, I think you have seen before in the supermarket. Okay, you can drink this without putting in the chiller. So which means that the drinks, it can be in the room temperature. When you drink it, you feel that it's cold because it contains these cooling compounds in there. Okay. Of course, if you put this in the chiller, then you will feel even more enhanced. Okay, the cooling effect. But even without it, you can drink it by itself at room temperature, you'll feel cooling. Okay, that's why they are so bold. They say Nescafe ice. Even though the inside doesn't have ice, and not necessarily you need to put inside the fridge. Yeah, you can buy this in from the shops. Okay, you can find this in most of the shops. Yeah, so you can buy it. Yeah. So the cooling effects, right, actually is very similar to those you feel on your skin. Okay, the pathway is almost the similar. Okay, if you are feeling on the skin, same things. If you go through, if you stimulate the channel, okay, and then depolarize the calcium and sodium ions, and then you will send to the what we call the dorsal root ganglia, okay, and stimulates. For those in the mouth, the sensation that coming from your mouth and from the menthol, if you send through the similar receptor as well, of course it's in a different location. Okay, one is from the skin, one is from the mouth. Okay, but the same TRPM8 channel. Okay, so it will depolarize and then it will allow the calcium and sodium ion to into the neurons. Okay, and will send signal to the trigeminal ganglia. Okay, the trigeminal ganglia that we have mentioned before, and then it will send to your brain and say that, oh, it's cooling effect. Okay. Okay, so this is just a comparison between the on the skin and on the mouth. They also the receptor is the same, TRPM8. Okay, the mechanism also is similar, but one is from the mouth through the trigeminal, one is through the skin, through the dorsal root ganglia, yeah, through the spinal cord. Cooling molecules, these cooling molecules, right, develop best from the polar system, for example, like beverage. Okay, this is different from what I have mentioned just now. Okay, for the cooling molecules, they will need to be polar system. That's why if you add in the Nescafe ice, okay, that will be good. Okay, if just say that you need to have the cooling compound on the chewing gum obviously is a non-polar system. Okay, what you can do that instead of dissolving it, you actually coat the chewing gum on top, on the surface. Okay, you coat it on top. Okay, when you eat it directly, it will go to your receptor. Yeah, so no need to dissolve inside into the formula, just coat it on top. Yeah. Dosage, it depends. Yeah, highest amount required in the chewing gum. If you're talking about soft drink, it's medium. Those really water-based products, they will be very low. Yeah. Okay. Cooling molecules, right, require a hydrogen bonding groups. Okay, it has a compact hydrocarbon skeleton. Yeah, it needs to have a correct hydrophilic hydrophobic balance. All right. Usually the molecule weigh about 150 to 350. Okay, and daltons, yeah, sorry, and a little fatigue in cooling sensation as long as the stimulus remain in contact with the oral receptor. Yeah. Okay, so as long as it's got contact, then that's fine. Containing nitrogen and structures provide more rapid onset of cooling. Okay, so if you want to make it more more cooling sensation, you should choose those cooling molecule with the nitrogen in the structure. Yeah, common summary, right? Then it will be faster a bit. Rapid onset means that you give the faster cooling effect, so the delay is slower. Okay. Okay, examples like menthol. Menthol is very widely used cooling agents. Okay, you can see in a lot of the products already. Okay, the European Flavor Association lists as European flavors ingredient FEMA 2665. It originated from the mint oil from the peppermint oil. Okay, and from this corn mint oil. Okay, both you can get it from steam distillations. Yeah, if you are doing this in the peppermint oil, about 50% L-menthol. If you are for the corn mint oil, you steam distillate, you can get about 75% L-menthols. Yeah, okay. Probably this got to do with the structure of the plant. Okay, which lead to the efficiency in the extraction. Yeah. So able to synthesize and generate more experiment compared to natural version. So that's why I have mentioned before, sometimes synthesis may not be cheap. Okay, so it's best to extract from the plant. So the dosage for the oral cooling, the L-menthol is 45 times more active in cooling effect than D-menthol, yeah. So L and D we have mentioned in organic chemistry, okay, so it's a different stereoisomers. The L is more effective compared to D, okay, although they have the same molecular formulas, they have similar atom attachments, but just orientation just slightly different. You can see the effect is very detrimental, yeah, 45 times more active, yeah. Usually it doesn't have any taste unless you have from the peppermint oil, okay. The compound itself doesn't have taste. As I mentioned, the compound will give you just the cooling effect, okay. It doesn't contain any taste. But if you extract from the peppermint oil, okay, it may contain some of the peppermint flavor in there, okay. And the other molecule that are responsible for the peppermint flavor may actually go along with it, okay. Often combined with monomethyl glutarates, okay, they are less taste and longer lasting sensory effect, yeah. So if you want to have a longer the cooling effect, then you just add this molecule in there, okay, and it has been found that it can make it last longer. So you actually give the consumer, it feels a longer cooling sensation, yeah. Another cooling molecule like carbosamides, okay, carbosamides is quite rapid in onset in cooling sensations, okay, it provides a good duration of physiological coolings. Is actually in the FEMA, is in the European flavor list, is under the code name FEMA 3455, okay, or what we call WS3, yeah. Is synthesized process is patented by this Wilkinson Swords. Okay, this company called Wilkinson Swords, okay, they can synthesize and they patented it, yeah, okay. That's why over here you see the code WS3, okay, because it's being created by this company Wilkinson Swords, okay, is I think it's their third molecule, right? It is a type of coding for them, okay, the third molecule. Okay, the dosage is about 0.2 ppm for oral cooling thresholds, okay. One thing good about this carbosamide is that it has a very little minty flavor characteristic, which means that it can be applied to a lot of products without giving this minty flavor. Okay, if you put in the peppermint flavor in the cooling agents, what happens is that you feel cooling, but then you have this minty. But not all products actually goes well with this minty flavor. Okay. Okay, the third one I will talk about is the pungent and warming and the hot irritants here, right? So cooling, ambient temperature, and molecular signature have profound effect on the perceptions of warming. So warming enhances the effect of capsaicing, but cooling inhibits the effect, yeah. So it really depends on what temperature you consume. It's just if you are eating a cold chili soup, okay, a cold chili soup, the effect is less. But if you're eating chili soup, the hot chili soup, okay, then you feel the burning, okay, really burning, yeah. That's why a lot of people, right, when they're eating the chili, they actually have a cold water to actually complement with it, okay. In case that it's too hot, they try to cool it down. Of course, it's just to give some sort of like a short term type of the cooling, yeah. But again, if your capsaicin is still there and attached to your receptor, okay, you still continue feeling the hot sensation, yeah. So warm and hot sensation are transmitted through the thermal pain receptor, okay, TRPV1, okay. So those thermal the pain receptor in your mouth, okay, they can sense it, yeah. So when just say capsaicin attached to it, then you will send the signal through the trigeminal nerves. The food get hotter as we eat due to the sensitization by continued re-exposure in a short time frame. Removal of the stimulus will cause recovery, yeah. So if just say that if it's hot, spicy, okay, stop eating it, okay. But some people, they continue eat, the more you eat, then the more irritate. Some people, they will like eat, stop, okay, it takes a long time to finish a bowl of noodles, yeah. Hot irritants cause increased salivations, okay, that's why you feel on your saliva will actually come out, yeah. It's just a natural effect. So examples, there are chili peppers, okay, so including like wasabi also will give you this kind of pain, sort of like warming or the hot irritants here. So wasabi, eaten, okay, is taste in the tongue, so the tongue has these receptors. Then you go to the nerve cells, okay, after the after wasabi bind to the warm receptor, it will go to send the signal to your brain, yeah. Capsaicin is another type of the products that is commonly give you this kind of the warm sensation, okay, that give you pain as well. This warming is like, for example, the chili peppers, okay, it contains this capsaicin, the molecule you can see for over here. The FEMA listed as 3404. The active ingredient from capsicum pepper is capsicum trastacins or capsicum amines. Okay, it will give you the burning in the tips and the middle of the tongue, and then travels back into the throats. Yeah. Usually you will see that this kind of capsaicin, a lot of people enjoy actually. Okay, they enjoy eating it. Okay, as part of the community of their foods. Okay, you see that a lot of people, they're using the capsaicin to stimulate the blood flow, yeah, okay. For example, they apply to a formula that you can apply to your skin, okay. Just say they got bruises, okay, it will help to like relieve all the bruises, yeah, to the increasing blood flow, yeah. It's just a trigger that comes together with the blood flow, yeah. Piperine, again, the black pepper, okay, it contains this, the hot sensation as well, okay. The heat principles from the black pepper, piperonigrams, okay. If you're trying to extract out, it's about 50% the component in there. They also contains a small quantity of piperoxide, tingling amides, and the charicins, yeah. Which actually give you this kind of synergize with the pungent ingredients. Yeah, that's why you got the smell as well, the pungent. Ginger roll is another one that give you this warming sensation. Okay, ginger roll is one. Okay, 6 ginger roll. It's a heat active component of natural composite. Okay, ginger roll is a key component that give the bitter characters. Okay, ginger roll and ginger roll is two different things. Okay, ginger roll give you the heat active. Ginger roll actually give you the bitter characteristics, and you see that ginger is widely used in the Asian cuisines. Yeah. Okay, so synergies means that it combine effect with the warming agents or other type of agents. Okay, sensei combined with flavors and other compounds used for chewing gum. Okay, as demonstrated by the Wrigley's. You can actually combine with cooling agents, or you can combine with tingling agents, or you can come with the warming agents. Yeah, okay. The reason why you have to have all these synergies effect, okay, which means that not only warming, it comes with cooling as well, or warming with tingling, warming and warming. Okay, so all this, it will come with a certain perceptions. You want to give what some kind of what you call it, the experience by the consumer. The consumer can feel the different effect. Okay, that's why whenever you develop a product, okay, think of what kind of experience you want the consumer to feel. In that case, then you can find the different type of the components or agents, okay, that complements with your food products. Okay, so you can take, for example, you can add in your soft drink, you can add a cooling agent in there, so you can drink. Okay, you can drink during at room temperature, yet you feel the cooling sensations. Okay, because like the Nescafe, the Nescafe example I gave you. Okay, this one, not everywhere you can find a fridge. So in that case, you add some cooling sensation in there, okay, so you can actually consume it at room temperature, yet you feel like you are drinking it's an ice cold Nescafe coffee. Okay. Okay, the last one is that talk about the taste active compound. Okay, taste active compound you can feel the taste. Okay, the four plus 1 5 basic taste. Okay, the sweet, sweet, salty, bitter, and sour, and umami. Okay, these taste active compounds, they give you the taste, not the sensation. Okay, so over here you got different type of the sweeteners. Okay, they give you this taste active the sensation. Okay, the craving for food, they are sugar sweet, is among the strongest human desire of the animal kingdoms. Okay, so that is why we always eat a lot of sugars in there. Yeah, you feel the fulfillment. You say, oh, very nice. That's why kids as well, they like it sweet. Okay, but one thing is that when you consume too much sugar, it can lead to obviously tooth decay. Okay, that's why people started to examine, okay, to find out more of these artificial sweeteners that can help in the matter of the obesity. Yeah. Alright, so you can use a lot of different types like nutritive. Okay, you got xylose, sucrose, honey. Non-nutritive means that it got no similar configurations to the nourishments. Okay, for example like saccharides. Okay, so if you eat a lot of this, it doesn't actually give you any type of the calories as well. That's why it's what is called non-nutritive. Yeah. So you can see these are a lot of different type of sweeteners. You got sucrose, fructose, dextrose. Okay, these are the one that is nutritive. Okay, and also high in the calorie as well. Okay, those is a lower calories but still nutritive. For example, molasses, xylitose, sorbitose, mannitose, maltose. All these is still give you certain type of sweetness. Yes, the calorie is a lot reduced here. The non-nutritive is the saccharines. Okay, its sweetness level is quite huge. Okay, about 300 to 500. Okay, very high potencies here. So you can use the saccharin, but saccharin got to me it has some kind of the carryover taste here, which not all the consumer like. You can see aspartame as well have some kind of carryover taste. Okay, sucralose, A-sulfame-K. Okay, you can see that this is getting more and more popular. Yeah, A-sulfame-K is getting more and more popular in the soft drinks. Okay, you can see in that. Saccharic acid. Okay, this is high, about more than 30 high potency, but it's banned. Yeah, probably cause some kind of side effect to the human. Neotames, okay, very high potency, and alitames, okay, tannins, okay, very high potency. Yeah. Okay, so you can see other types as well. There are a lot of different types, but the one that is getting more popular is the A-sulfame-K. Here I can see more and more in the Malaysian products, A-sulfame-K, and I'm going to talk to you some of the characteristics of A-sulfame-K later on. The aspartame. Okay, aspartame, although it's nutritive, you can see a lot of product, but I felt that I have seen less and less the usage of it here. Okay, probably some of the reason is because of the negative perception from the consumer. Okay, as mentioned, A-sulfame-K is getting more and more popular. One of the reason, right, is because it's very stable under processing conditions here. It's very stable in high heat as well as acid media here. That's why I see more and more of the soft drink product, they are adding this. Okay, because they are stable in acid media especially. Okay, which means that their shelf life can even drag longer. For example, if you drink some of the soft drink that is based on the aspartame, okay, you can see that after it passed the expiry date or before it passed the expiry date, the taste is almost gone. Okay, probably it's because the aspartame has already been degraded. right? That's why aspartame K is getting more and more popular because it's stable in acid media, yeah. It has a metallic aftertaste, bitter aftertaste, and no lingering aftertaste, yeah. The bitter aftertaste occur at high concentration, so you do not need to add too much, okay. It's a high potency. If you're looking back here, it's about 200 times, okay, sweeter than the sugar, yeah. Okay, you can see the sweetness level to sugar here is only 1, okay. Here is about more than 200, yeah. So it's you do not need to use a lot, yeah. Okay, so you can get rid of the bitter aftertaste if your concentration is not that high, yeah. This synergize well with aspartame to reduce overall level of artificial sweeteners. Okay, so you can add, for example, if you're looking at the Coke Zero, okay, or the Coke Zero or Coke Light. Okay, you will see that it contains aspartame K as well as aspartame. Yeah, okay, aspartame, aspartame K. Aspartame potassium means aspartame K. Yeah, K is potassium. Yeah. Regarding as a safe for consumer by most of the study to date, yeah, I do not know after a few years later, after decades, what will happen to it, yeah. Okay, another one, other than sweet, that is salty perceptions, okay, the taste, salty taste. The table salt is added to the food to provide the salt taste quality, yeah. A lot of food, if you without salt, you say that it's tasteless. So you just add a bit more salt in there, you'll feel it become more and more tasty. Okay. First is the transmission for the potassium sodium exchange nerve pathway. Okay. So the sodium or the potassium, you go through the nerve pathway, and that's where you receive the salty perception. Yeah. And that's why potassium, the salt is sodium chloride. Okay, so this is the effective chloride. This is the effective compounds here. But nowadays getting more and more negative perceptions on the sodium chloride because the sodium can actually lead to hypertension. So people start to either reduce salt or you can change it to potassium chloride. But potassium chloride is not popular at all in Malaysia. Yeah. So you can see this salt replacer, developing salt replacer to combat the heart disease, okay, using potassium, magnesium or calcium, okay, with the chloride as a sulfate as the counter ion, yeah. Sour agents we have like for example the lactic acid, acetic acid, citric acid. Sour, always remember, is contribution of the hydrogen ion, okay. The more hydrogen ion are there, then the more sour it becomes, yeah. Bitter agents, okay, is usually perceived from the back of the tongue, okay. So it's usually it's sort of like bitter is not really that well perceived by the consumers. Yeah, bitter, people do not like bitter food. Yeah, they like sweet, okay, and salty. Bitter not really, but of course bitter gourd, people love the bitter gourd. Okay, it's a different type of perceptions. Okay. Like dark chocolate or these things, the bitterness, not everyone like it, yeah, not everyone like it. Usually bitter, right, is because of the components, yeah, the components sometimes is the poison, okay. The bitter is actually a defense mechanism since most of the bitter tasting plants and the chemicals are not good to eat, yeah, okay, it's either poison or toxin. Like medicine contains a lot of these bitter agents, okay, because medicine is for a lot of time is for killing the bacteria, yeah, or to cure certain things, yeah. But for coffee you got this bitter agent in there, okay. Then for example, caffeine, the FEMA code is 2224, okay. Then got narinine and narinine extract, okay. All these are the different type of bitter agents. Tannic acid, guanine, okay, cocoa leaf, okay, all these are the different type of bitter agents that you can use in your food products. Okay, the last one is the umami effect, or what we call the fifth taste. Okay, at first only 4, now got 5th. Okay, is widely used as the taste enhancer. Okay, it has actually their own receptors. Okay, the location of the tongue is not is actually all around your tongue actually. Okay, the receptors all around the tongue. They give you this kind of very tasty type of the perception, yeah. Okay, so you can see the umami, okay, aspartate glutamate, okay. If you eat that, taste in the tongue, you send signal to your brain, okay, and give you this kind of sort of the tasty perceptions, okay. Okay, so that's it for this chapter 2 part 2. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, please remember to comment, okay, in the Padlet. Okay, make sure you comment in the chapter 2 part 2 column. Okay, please remember to write your name and your ID, okay, so that I can mark your attendance. Okay, for this week I do not have any of the activity. Okay, next week I will have activity for that. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.